Okay, welcome back. We've saved a bit of time taxiing. We're now fueled up again and we're at the end of the runway and we're going to go and do some stalling and spinning, then we'll come back and do some touch and goes and get ourselves back in practice. And for some reason that mixture is in the off position. I can't move it. So it shouldn't be there, it should be fully forward, okay? Right. So we won't bother with our power checks either or our magneto checks. Get some speed up, centralise the controls, the tail will come up, apply full power, just trickle that throttle in, don't slam it wide open. Just a quick check of the RPM and the engine gauges, everything looks good. We can put a bit of back pressure in there, we can raise the gear, and we can bring the prop back. There we go. Now the advantage of levelling off once you're airborne is that you can pick up a lot of speed quite quickly. It's a technique some pilots use. They don't recommend it in the airlines, of course, they fly by numbers, but when you're a PPO and you're flying by the seat of your pants, you are allowed to fly low during takeoff and landing, so that is a legitimate thing you can get away with, flying low. So the story today is we're going to climb to about 3,000 feet and then we're going to do some stalling and spinning. And we're going to do it over the water, so if everything goes tits up, the aeroplane will have a nice soft landing. As opposed to landing on someone's house, which would be bad, would be frowned upon tremendously. Okay, there we go. We are at 3,000 feet, so we'll put the prop fully forward and we'll bring the boost all the way back. Allow the aircraft to slow down slowly with the nose up attitude. Stall clean with the wheels up, we'll just see where the stall is. Down to 120, 100 knots, anywhere now, anywhere around now. Down to 80, 80, 80, there we go. She stalled at 80. So, nose down, allow the airspeed to build up, full power, set the prop, and we'll climb back up to 3,000 feet. Actually let it stall there. And when you get near the stall, modern aeroplanes have a stall warning buzzer that will come on, and then you start getting buffet as you get near the stall. This is a simulator, so you won't get either of those things unless it's an aircraft that's fitted with stall warning. And what normally happens is you start feeling this buffeting on the stick. The whole aircraft starts to shake as one wing wants to stall, and one wing will stall before the other. Okay, we're up to 4,000 feet now. We're going to go and put it into a spin, which is exactly the same as stalling. Wait until you get really close to the stall. And then you boot full rudder in and aileron, and that will send the aircraft right round into a spin. To come out of the spin, you relax the controls, centralise the controls, allow airspeed to build up, and then pull yourself out of the ensuing dive without power. Okay, once you level off, you can put the power in, set the propeller, and you're back to normal. Now we're 2,000 feet, so we lost about 2,000 feet there. Finally, what we're going to do is we're going to stall the aircraft again, and we're going to have the wheels down this time and the flaps. So once it stalls, if it goes into a spin, we've got to retract the flaps and the gear while we are recovering from our spin, okay? Okay, we're at 4,000 feet there. We just need to come down into the gear lowering speed. And again, if you go too fast with flaps down, you know, you will damage the flaps. It's climbing like a trooper, look at this. Okay, 140 knots, we'll put the gear down. 100 knots, let's have some flaps. Just see how slow we can go now. Can we get it down to 80 knots? Don't think we can now, about 90. 90, there she goes. She's going. So we chop the power, gear up, centralise the controls, don't put any power in. Looking round, airspeed's building. Once we pull out of the ensuing dive, we can then apply the power. And that's that. Wasn't that fun? Don't overspeed, because if you overspeed you can break the aeroplane as well. And it really, really is a pleasure to go up and take an aeroplane like this for a flight. It really is. Proper stick and rudder aeroplane. And it's a graceful aeroplane, it's a nice, civilised aeroplane to fly. Okay, wingtip is on the runway threshold there, so we can start bringing it round now. Looking for 140, 140, 140, 140. Here's that 140, 120. Nose can go down, 2 green lights. Come on, G. The only way to get this right is to practice it, practice over and over and over and over again. And then stay current is difficult because I go offline all different kinds of airplanes and then I come back to something like this and I think, oh, I've forgotten how to fly the damn thing. Right. We're looking at peripheral vision here now. We're just trying to keep it off the ground. There we go, perfect. Absolutely perfect. That's exactly what I was trying to achieve the first time. Get it to stall just onto the ground from about 6 inches to a foot. Centralised controls. I've actually put the prop back there. Gear up. Light under there. Now another technique you can use, because this is a proper flying machine, it really is. And I'm not a lover of tail wheels, as you know, but I make exceptions for this one. And the Yak 50, it's in my top piston engine aeroplanes to fly. You know, I'm quite fussy when it comes to tail wheels. I only fly the best in the business. Mosquito is a good one. Very good one. Right, let's have some wheels. 120. Going way too slow there, look. 100 knots. Side slipping is when you put opposite rudder in and opposite ailerons and you can lose tremendous amounts of height very quickly. You don't need to side slip a Hurricane because it comes down on its own quite steeply and you need the power to slow that descent rate down. You set your airspeed with the angle of the nose, really. Bring the nose up and the airspeed will come down. It's just a case of getting it right. And they started to fly Tiger Moths at this stage. When you're a Hurricane pilot, when you were learning to fly, you do it in a Tiger Moth. And it's ideal. Because once you've flown the Tiger Moth and you're really good, you just jump in the Hurricane, you can fly it straight away. The only difference is the wheels wind up and down, it's got a wobbly prop. Okay. That wasn't as good, that was a bit of a bounce, that one. Okay, one more and then that's it. I'll do one with flaps this time, show you the difference. Here you go. I could spend hours doing this, honestly, it's so much fun. on the challenge of getting it right, getting consistently good landings. Because you have one good landing and you think, yes, I've cracked it now, and then you have a horrible landing and a bit of a bounce, and then don't be hard on yourself, just keep doing it. How's our fuel doing? Yeah, getting quite low on fuel now, so trading our altitude there for our power and speed for altitude. I'm not going to put the flaps down in a turn. A trickle of power to stop that descent rate, and we'll have some flaps this time. I'll show you the difference on the approach. There's the flap. It's all or nothing, I'm afraid. You've got a load of big drag flaps. So this will lower the nose, so you will get a better perspective of the runway with the flaps down. But there's the trade-off. You need a lot more engine power now because of the drag flaps, and if there's a bit of a crosswind, you are going to suffer a lot more trying to keep it straight and keep it on the runway. But I suggest you try it with and without flaps, see which you prefer. They do recommend using the flaps in the book. I never seem to get good landings with flaps though. It's on. Stick right back. Drag flaps are down. There we go, that wasn't too bad, was it? Flaps can come up now. We shall taxi to park. Sun's going down. I think that's an excellent way to stop for the night, and so we'll have some more flying lessons tomorrow in the Hawker Hurricane. I try to always fly in real time and weather as well, and the more you fly this aircraft, the better you will become. But don't forget, don't get too cocky, because the one thing that's always going to mess you up, and it's waiting for you to mess up, and that's crosswinds. You try landing this in a crosswind or taking off in a crosswind, it will have you, and it won't end well. That's why they got rid of tail wheel aeroplanes and they only have nose wheel aeroplanes these days. I hear you say, no, that's not true. I know. Yes, there are a few exceptions to every rule, but there's usually a reason for it. And if you've got a rough short strip you need to get in and out of, then a tail wheel can do it much better than a nose wheel, as long as there's not a crosswind. Okay, brakes on. Thanks for watching.